I'm unmuting myself. What are you doing with yourself right now? Where are you now compared to where you were a few years ago, 6 weeks ago, 6 months ago, whatever time frame you want to put on it? Do you have a clear picture of what you really want the rest of your life to look like? Or are you just like going through repetitive motions, stuck in Groundhog Day, doing the same thing at the same time, the same way, having the same conversations with the same people, getting the same responses and getting the same results over and over and over? And maybe expecting something different. I think Einstein used to say that's the definition of sanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And even just saying that about doing the same thing over and over in the same conversation, talking to the same people, going to the same places, driving to work the same way, sounds boring. And yet so many of us do that and nothing changes. And then we get upset because nothing changes. So again, let me ask you, where are you now compared to where you were 5 years ago, 3 years ago, what about 10 years ago? Or bring it even closer. Where are you compared to where you were 12 months ago? And have you achieved anything that you're proud of? Right? Because a year goes by really, really quickly. And that time, trust me, as I'm 60, it speeds up as you get older. And I can promise you, if you're not planning for your future, if you don't have any goals and dreams or any ideas that you're putting into motion on a daily basis, you're going through life like a robot on autopilot. And that's never going to give you the amazing life that you could actually have. So welcome to Morning Mindset. This is our finale on the series of Making Broken Beautiful, where I've been sharing the tools so that you can live your life by your own design rather than existing by default. And today's topic is to envision future you. So wherever you're tuning in from, say hi. I'd love to know what you've been doing with your life over the last few years, 5 years, 10 years, what you've achieved that you're proud of, and where you're tuning in from. So envision the future you then. The future is what you make it, right? It's like a blank canvas. It's like an empty canvas waiting to be filled up with the dreams that fill our mind, right? There was a poem I used to read all the time about that. And we can fill that canvas with whatever we want. It's like getting paint and just starting all over, right? But that picture that you build will depend on the vision you have for yourselves. And you can choose to do anything you want with your life. You can do anything, be anything you want to be. The sky's the limit, as they say, because life's full of possibilities. But it has to start with a vision. Like having a vision is like an instruction manual for the mind, because your brain needs a roadmap. It needs instructions, because without one, your mind can't drive you to give you all the nudges you need to take action on something. It can't give you any messages to even just move. Like everything you do comes from a picture. Like if I want a ham sandwich, I've got to think about a ham sandwich before my brain can go flush my body with all the appropriate neuropeptides and chemicals, which make me then go off and make that sandwich, right? So if you don't have a vision, that's like getting into a car, going on a trip and going, yeah, let's go. And where do we start going? Because we don't have any idea, right? So what does your future look like? And what do you want it to look like? Right? There's tons of research to show that if you can envision it in your mind, you can make it happen in real life. And that's absolutely true. But I also believe it's not quite as simple as that. Because I don't think, I know, and I feel and I believe, because I've done so much of this work myself over the last 30, 40 years, that you can only go as far as you've dealt with all those things that have been limiting you and sabotaging you up until where you are right now. So the first step then to a better future is to move on from your past. And we all have a past that we'd rather forget. Maybe it's something we did, something we said, maybe it was something we didn't do, or maybe it was something that was done to us. Okay, I have a very traumatic past. But whatever the case may be, right, dwelling on it is unhealthy. And it will keep you stuck. And I hate that and I'm really passionate about this, because if I'm living a life less than what I really want, everyone who hurt me, they're still winning. And I'm going to say, beat that, okay? And I want you to beat that too. Stop letting them win. Like, go out and get that life you want. And to help you with that, I've created a 7-step process to keep you on track. So when you're truly ready to start your journey, start moving on from that past and creating a vision for your future, I want you to follow these 7 steps. And I've made it easy to remember by using the word mindset, because I'm all about being mindfit and mindset. And that's why my business is Mindfit Mastery. So step 1 then is moving on from a past. And that's about letting go of what's holding you back and not identifying with those struggles, right? Choosing to learn from them, past experiences instead. And I get that. I hear you. It's easier said than done. And it's difficult to move on because, as I said, we've all experienced some sort of heartache or trauma at some point, and that can somehow seem to define us. But you can identify with those struggles and make that your identity, or you can release that pain. And instead of letting it define you, just use it to, I used it to motivate me to go, no one's going to win. No one's going to drive my life. I determine who I become and what I become. Okay. And to do that, I had to invest in my future. And that's where step 2 with the I in mindset comes in. Invest in your future. Now, investing in yourself is the best investment you'll ever make. So whatever you need to do that, to move on from your past and better believe in yourself, start doing it right now. Start doing it so that you can live rather than exist, because your future is in your hands if you take back control of it. And I decided to do that a really long time ago. So I decided I wanted to be who I wanted to be, not driven by what my father thought I was, because he used to tell me some horrible things about who I was, and I'd never be anyone. Complete waste of space, apparently. And I've done quite a lot for someone who's a complete waste of space. But anyway, so I found out what I needed to do to get past that. So what do you need to do to invest in bettering yourself? Maybe it's upskilling so you can increase your confidence, or maybe it's getting into better shape or health so you can climb those stairs without having a paramedic on standby. It might be reading books so that it can empower your mind, or take an effective personal development course. I've created one just for that reason. But whatever you decide to do, it's your future. So do something that your future self will thank you for, as the saying goes, right? Make a choice, make a conscious choice to create your vision and doggedly work towards the vision instead of blindly following someone else's path and someone else's idea of who you are. Because if you don't, you'll be right where you are right now in 1 year, 5 years, even 20 years time, right? I remember actually when I was doing my Tony Robbins training, or maybe it was I think it was then anyway, one of the times I was at Tony Robbins things, is someone went up to Tony Robbins and said, Tony, look out, because I'm going to be right, in 5 years time, I'm going to be right where you are. And Tony's reply was amazing. And it was brilliant, because he said, well, that's great, because I won't be there, because I'm not standing still, I'm moving on. And that's exactly how I live my life, and exactly how you should be living your life too. So take the time to decide how you need to reinvent yourself. And if you're tuning in for the first time, say hi, tell me where you're tuning in from, and tell me how you're going to reinvent yourself. Because it's too easy to get caught up in day-to-day living and forget about investing in ourselves and our future. Which takes me to the 3rd step then. So N is to nurture your relationships. And that means spending time with the people who support and care for you and who want you to grow and who build you up instead of tear you down and criticize and patronize and all of those things. And we've all been in relationships that have done like that, okay? And our past experiences can lead us to being in those. So move on from those people. Make solid commitments to yourself and your friendships and relationships to choose the right kind of people. Nurture people that are excited for your plans, that want to help you reach them, And they're there to pick you up when you fall down, because you will fall down. Yeah, I mean, that's part and parcel of it. Every time you fall down, you just pick yourself back up again. And nurture those relationships, and nurture them so that you're understanding and compassionate, and you can communicate openly and honestly about what you want and about what they want too. And be willing to work through any difficulties if you're in a partnership or a relationship. I mean, in the past, I can tell you, I've been quite guilty of not wanting to do that. I wasn't interested in repairing a friendship with a person because there was too many pokes and jibes at myself and the people I cared about, and the constant judging and negativity, it got to me. But that's another thing, right? Nurturing relationships means choosing to surround yourself only with the right people, with the right positive influences. And that takes me to step 4, which is D, develop a positive mindset. And that means choosing to see the good in yourself and in the world around you. And it also means believing that you're worthy of happiness and success, and doing whatever it takes to eliminate any unconscious commitments that you picked up along the way from birth to where you are in life right now. And your environment will show you what's, otherwise. Because you were not born with limitations. And I bang on the drum about this all the time. Yet you were not born with limitations. You were born to succeed. Just think about how much effort it was to, as a young infant, to teach your body how to move, to sit up unaided, to walk by yourself, talk by yourself coherently, to eat by yourself, right? With little to no time on the planet, little to no resources, no body strength, no video, no Google, right? And no one showing you how to do that. You did that because you're internally driven for success. And no matter how many times you failed, no matter how many times you whacked your head on the coffee table, failing didn't matter, because you hadn't learned about failure yet, and you hadn't learned about how embarrassing it is, or I'm ashamed I failed, right? And I watched a child at the beach yesterday doing exactly that. He was so intent on dealing with this really big hole that he didn't notice that the tide was coming in. And he made really good progress until a big wave ran up the beach and filled the hole in. And watching his reaction was interesting, because he looked at the water, he looked at this hole, he picked up his bucket, and he walked further at the beach, and he just started all over again. I mean, how's that for a positive mindset? He didn't get all upset because his hole filled in. He just started again. Okay? So he had a goal, and it was to dig a hole. And that takes me to step 5, which is S, of set goals and take action. And I've done a lot of this stuff, so I'm only going to give it a short little thing on here. In other videos, I've talked about setting goals, but make sure your goals are realistic, right? If I want to be a millionaire tomorrow morning, it's not going to happen. It'd be nice, but it's not going to happen. And I've got to be honest about, and you have to be honest about, what you can achieve and what you can't achieve, what's possible, what's not possible. And it doesn't mean you don't go for the impossible. You just give yourself a little bit longer to get there. Right? Don't put pressure on yourself to be perfect. Right? Have a clear vision for what you want to achieve and the kind of person you want to be and who you need to be to get to whatever that vision requires of you. Right? That means taking concrete steps towards goals and holding yourself accountable. Because not having goals will give your brain zero information, as I said earlier. And without any information, of course, the delivery from the universe will be exactly that, 0. I say to my children all the time, effort in, reward out. Okay? So step 6 then is the E, evaluate your relationships. And remember, every single day that life is precious. And you have to make a constant effort to remind all those people in your life that they're precious to you, because a relationship cannot survive on its own. And just like a plant needs water and constant sunlight and care, it will die without that. And relationships that will support and inspire you, they require that too. So make sure the people that you choose to have in your life are positive influences. Like, there are many people out there that won't want you to succeed, but your future knows that you're capable of amazing things. And it knows that whatever action you take today and every day that follows will give you what you're aiming for. So what you've got in your life right now, you created. Right? Everything was a future thing at one point. So what choices and friendships and relationships and decisions have you made that have put you where you are right now? So what do you need to change? And this is not about regret. Right? It's not about regretting anything. Because if you're not where you want to be, it doesn't matter, because regret is futile and it changes nothing, and it's stupid anyway. Because you did what you did at the time, you decided what you decided at the time, and you said what you said at the time, and you took the action you did, right? Because that's where you were then. But that was then, and this is now. And now is about understanding that innate power you have to create things. because creating is what you're doing every single minute of the day with what you're thinking. And there's a brilliant quote that I love by Seth Godin. It's like, if you're deliberately trying to create a future that feels safe, you will willfully ignore the future that is likely. Right? Think about that. So are you creating a future that you want to be safe? I know I did that for a very, very long time. Okay? I didn't trust myself. I didn't believe in myself enough. And I held on to things that were way long overdue. So if you're holding on to friendships and relationships or partnerships out of fear, stop it. Because everything you want, I promise you, is on the other side of that fear. And I know this because I've been there and I've done that. And your future self depends on you making choices that are right for you. So the last step then is the T. And this is step 7, and it's to think big. Because the biggest mistake we can make here is to think like a small-minded person. So allow yourself to imagine a future that is limitless and exciting, right? And in order to have that, though, you have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to make mistakes, and you have to be willing to get it so wrong that you start all over, just like a little kid with a hole, right? It doesn't matter. Who cares? Right? You have no idea how many things I've started, how many ideas I've registered, and how many names and businesses I've registered that have never transpired. It doesn't matter, right? You just keep working towards your dream. And at least if you're working towards your own dream, you're not working towards someone else's. And there's someone who inspired me 40, 50 years ago towards this was Thomas Edison. Because not only did he try 10,000 ways before the light bulb actually worked, during that time where he was ridiculed, he was told he was crazy and nuts, he lost his whole factory in a massive fire. And at 67 years of age, he told the New York Times reporter, "It's okay, I'll start over tomorrow." And he did all of that, and he did exactly that without firing any of his employees. And how's that for a positive mindset? When he's watching his factories exploded, he called his son and said, "Go and get your mum and your sister. You'll never see another fire like this." So, you know what? You can look at the devastation and get caught up in the problem, where you can just go, well, start again. So thinking big is exactly that. It's believing in yourself and aiming for what you want, regardless of other people and their small, stupid-minded opinions. And I never allow small minds to get in my way, so don't let them get in your way either. And never allow your past to dictate your future. So make your life big, and make it a life worth remembering, and make it big so that it's full of joy and happiness. And before I wrap this up, I want to share one last thing. Look around you. What do you see? Because whatever and whoever is in your life right now is a reflection of the unconscious commitments you have to yourself. Think about that. What unconscious commitments do you have to yourself? What does your life show you? Looking at what you see, right? What is it showing you? What are you so unconsciously committed to that planning for a future in that area feels next to impossible, right? Unconscious commitments, I believe, are worth thinking long and hard about. So if where you are is not where you want to be, or not who you want to be doing what you really want to do, stop wasting your precious life that you only get one of and change it. Take time to envision what you really want for your future. Then use this mindset framework to take the necessary steps and work hard and work with determination to make it happen. And no matter how many times you fail, you have the power to shape it exactly as you want. And you can recreate yourself and have an amazing reality. So do whatever your future holds. Whatever it is, I want you to impress upon you. Just like you've created what you have in your life right now, use that same ability to create whatever happens next. No more waiting. Go out and make your dreams a reality. And that's it with me for today. As always, I am super grateful for your time. I appreciate you being here. And if you found this helpful, motivating, I would love you to help others change their lives for the better too. And you can do that by sharing these mini trainings. And if you want to keep up to date, be sure to join my online community and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'll leave you with my greatest wish, and that is for you to be Mindfit, so you can live your best life. Go on, go out and live it with passion. Reset, be authentic, and be you. Bye for now. Bye for now. Instagram too. Hello, hello, hello. Hopefully, we have some wonderful comments to share. And Peter Ford, oh my God, from Barnstable. Oh my God, there's a blast from the past. We went to school together. How are you, Peter? Thanks for joining us. Parker says, my life has totally changed in the last 10 years from addiction to being director of operations. That is absolutely amazing, Parker. And I want to have a conversation with you on that. Sebastian, my life is changing every week more than anyone can imagine. And I love that, Sebastian. Really cool. And LinkedIn user, I think maybe Santosh. Hopefully, my best friend, my husband, just by what you're saying, and investing in future is why we have been able to survive despite horrifying tragedy in our lives. And I know that because you are one strong woman. I love that. August, thank you for joining from LinkedIn. Indeed, without goals, what is even the meaning of life? Exactly, 100%. Sebastian says, no vision, not being alive. Yeah, it is, because you're not striving for anything. You go through the roads like the wind blowing a paper bag up the street. August says, falling down only means we can get up and get higher, and you get up stronger too, August, 100%. And Santosh says, I don't call it falling down. I call it a reminder to be smarter, stronger, bolder than my aim. 100%. Love that. Parker says, you can't go below the rock bottom. So when you fall down, you rise up higher and higher and higher. Yes, you do. With that determination, that motivation, you can go wherever you want. And the limits are only in your mind. Yes, they are. Yeah. Sounds like a cliche, but it's so true. Santos says we have been designed to learn and grow nonstop by nature. It really is. People run away from challenges, and it's like they're going to help you dig deep and find out what you're really about. And August says all the strategy is nothing without taking action. It is. That's just a dream. Pie in the sky. 100%. So cool. Hi, Tech Mother. Hey, I see a few people I need to poke in the eye. They're annoying. I'd like to know who they are now. My curiosity is getting the better of me. Hi, Peter Ford. He was somebody I went to school with. Cool. August says, looking forward to your next series from the 1st of August. How did you know that, August? You know more than me. Hi, Sebastian says, haha, August. WikiLeaks intentional plans for you, Pam. Thanks, August. We got a side bit of friendship going on here in the friendships circles. Hi, Tech Mother. See you 1st of August then. I guess I'm not going anywhere. So cool. And that's it, I believe, for us. I am so glad. And I'll see you 1st of August. Bye for now.